do you have any regrets about the Afghan withdrawal?
Brett, I regret the fact that we lost 13 of our finest at Abbey Gate. I regret that we lost 10 civilians in an errant strike.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin taking a moment to think about what he regrets about Biden's exit from Afghanistan. But what about the Americans still stranded behind enemy lines?
House Armed Services Committee member, Florida Congressman Michael Waltz joins us now. And Congressman, I mean, an awkward 6-second delay there while he had to think about the regrets he had. No mention, though, of abandoning allies or emboldening enemies or anything like that. What did you make of his response?
Well, I was there, and it was just gut-wrenching to hear, because right after he said he had those two regrets, he then pivoted right to the administration's talking point of saying this was the greatest air evacuation in history. And we all know now that, yes, they got a lot of people out, but a lot of them were the wrong people. They weren't vetted. And the people that had sacrificed so much are still there, on top of Americans, green card holders, legal permanent residents, that so many veterans groups have been staying up 24/7, still trying to get out, doing what our government failed to do. And the leader of one of those groups was with me. He walked out of the speech. He was so disgusted at hearing that from our defense secretary.
Wow. Well, Congressman, you are one of the people that are still trying to get people out of Afghanistan. Do you have an update on that front? And what is it like to live in Afghanistan right now under Taliban rule?
Well, these people are being hunted down as we speak. One of our interpreters who literally stood and took a bullet standing next to me is still trying to get his brothers out. They also stood and fought with us. The Taliban is repeatedly coming to their village, and just yesterday morning came to the house next to theirs and disappeared 4 males. They're gone. Never to be heard from again. So this is happening in real time. And I got to tell you, these veterans groups, and me included, we will never forgive the Biden administration for this, and we will never let it go.
Wow. Good. Congressman, I want to get your thoughts on another topic here. President Biden's chief of staff has shared a Washington Post op-ed on Twitter that says the media treats Biden worse than Trump. Here's part of that op-ed. He said, fiscal note, combed through more than 200,000 articles, tens of millions of words from 65 news websites. Biden's press for the past 4 months has been as bad as, and for a time worse than, the coverage Trump received for the same 4 months of 2020. Is it the coverage that's been bad, or is it really just those poll numbers?
Well, it's the policies that have been bad. It's the self-inflicted wounds. I mean, we've gone from energy independence to energy dependence. We've gone from a booming economy to gas lines and booming inflation. And we've gone from peace in the Middle East to an axis of terrorism, with Hamas launching rockets on Israel, Iran on the march, and now a Taliban caliphate. So to say that it was worse than Trump is just laughable. We all remember the Harvard study that showed Trump had 90% negative coverage for years. But really, where the press was so different was under Trump was just the lies that they pushed and that they promulgated. The Russiagate, the Steele dossier, the Ukraine call. And to have folks on like Clapper and Bremer and Schiff and not hold them to account when we knew they were lying on national television to the American people. But then when they went behind doors and under oath, they told a different story.
Yeah, we want to get
and
to
that's
this
not happening to Biden.
Absolutely. No, it certainly isn't. And we do want to get to this very important topic because former Republican Senator, presidential candidate Bob Dole died at the age of 98 yesterday. He's being remembered fondly on both sides of the aisle. What are your reflections on his life?
Well, these World War II heroes, these greatest generation heroes, are all heroes of mine. Yeah. And I looked up to him in so many ways, just as a man, politically, but somebody who is a servant leader